If you do real estate in Dubai, this video is a must watch for you. In this video, I'm about to show you step by step how to create an AI real estate agent that books you appointments, qualifies your customers, and also follows up with them as you want. So, in case you don't know me, this is Ashkan from the Hired AI. We own a community on school which we teach you how to create fully functional AI systems inside of a company that books you more than 15 sales calls per day, fully automated within an 8 days process of learning. Before jumping to the actual video, let me quickly show you one of our results with one of our biggest companies, one of the biggest Dubai real estate companies that we're working with currently. And you just see the results yourself, nothing to talk about here. And then I'm going to actually show you a mind map of how the actual system works, and then we dive into the technical stuff. So stay with me. So here you can see our results of one of the companies that we're working with, which is obviously a real estate company in Dubai, based in Dubai. You can see that we have previously made something around 4,000 calls with new leads, obviously, and with the only cost of 200 bucks. You see, guys, this is a really low amount of money for an AI to make 4,000 calls. If you if you think actually human can do that much amount of calls with that much amount of actual cost, it's nothing really possible, something like that. So it's obviously cheaper. It doesn't have time for rest. It's working 24/7. It's not asking for vacations, not asking for payments. Yeah, that's it. Basically, a 24 system that works for you every time. And also, you can see that out of the 4,000 calls, new lead calls that we have made, we got 17 booked meetings, we got 38 sales, and we have also one rent out of this 4,000 new leads, which if you do the math by yourself is something around 1.4% of the whole new leads. That's a really good amount of that's a really good number in this niche, because we are actually doing cold calls in here. And yeah, you can just pause the video yourself and see the results. Some of the technical stuff are here which you may not understand before you watch the video. So without any waste of time, let's dive into the actual video. Okay, so here I have created an actual mind map for you, so you can actually digest the whole system better, if that makes sense, obviously. So let me just actually explain the whole system for you. So the first obvious thing that we're going to do is to feed the system with our leads, the ready list of customers. For example, we have an Excel sheet of customers, then we're basically going to feed it to the system, feed it to the automation, so it's actually going to output something. After feeding the system with leads, okay, sorry for that. After feeding the system with leads, we are going to create or actually trigger a cold call with having the essential contacts information according to the list that we have fed to the system. So in this case, there are three things that could happen. It's either the customer is not going to pick up the phone, maybe they're busy, maybe they just didn't pick up, or maybe it was a voicemail, or etc. So it's basically a not pick up situation. So let's say that the customer did not pick up the phone, right? This is one of the situations that could happen. The other two things that could happen would be that the customer actually picks up the phone, the call happens, but they are not qualified, like let's say through the first minutes of the phone call, which we are going to ask them the qualification uh, essentials, right? And let's say the other one would be the call happens, and I'll tell you the rest of it. So let's get back to the situation which the customer is not going to pick up the phone, or there is no actual call happening, right? So at this point, we are going to place the customer in a follow-up sequence, which sometimes goes up to 7 or 8 times of following up using phone calls, using SMS or WhatsApp templates, or using email sequences. So let's say that it could be possible that we go up to 7 times of following up. Like the sequences may have 7 different actual other levels or sequences inside of them, if you know what I mean, right? So here's for the not picked up situation, right? That's it for the customers which were not available during the first phone call. And let's assume the call happens. So there's either a customer is not interested in the business that we're doing. It's either the customer wants a call back, so maybe they are busy or they're not at the right moment or at the right time that they want to answer this phone call. So they give us a callback time. Let's put that aside. Also, the two good things that could happen is that the customer would be either interested or actually books a meeting, right? So this is the best thing that we want. This is the actual win point for us, right? So let's say that we start with the not interested situation. If the customer was not interested, according to the call, according to the actual call happened with the AI, we're going to put the customer in a nurturing process, something similar to the follow-up sequences, but it's a bit customized upon, according to the business that you're doing or whatever you want. So it's a bit different to the follow-up sequences, but the whole purpose of this is to nurture the not interested customers. Then let's assume that the customer wanted a callback and it gave us an actual time for calling them back, which then they would be free on that time. So we're going to feed that time to our agent for the calling back. Like we have a specific agent that is only used for the callback situations. It's going to get the callback times, and let's assume that it's a human. For example, it's going to write down the callback times, and it's going to call everyone back according to the list that it's going to be fed with us. That's really a basic thing. Nothing not to understand here, obviously. And we could also have interested customers which didn't book a meeting, which then we're going to again put them in the interested customers nurturing process, which would be a little bit different with the nurturing process of the not interested customers. And that's again self-explanatory because obviously there are two different categories of customers, so they shouldn't be in the same process of nurturing. And also after that, which we see the interested customers that are coming back to us and want to book a meeting now, then we're going to put them back in the workflows or I don't know the automations, and then they're going to book an actual meeting. So here's exactly the whole system and how it works. You can take a screenshot of this mind map. I don't think it's going to help you unless you've watched the whole video. So it's just for your basic understandings and how the system works. So from now on, let's waste again no more time and actually do a demo of a call with our real estate agent that we have previously created, and I'm about to cut it down for you in smaller chunks throughout the video so you understand what is going on. So let me just do a quick demo call for you guys. I'm going to bring up a demo list, a demo form, sorry. Okay, here I have my customers information, my test customer information inserted to the form. Then I'm going to obviously agree with the terms and conditions, and let's get the free access now, right? This is going to do a demonstration of how the system works. And by the way, since I'm recording the video with my phone, the actual webcam is going to be my phone in this video. So I'm just going to answer the call on my PC so you guys actually hear what is going to happen throughout the call with the agent. And I'm just going to book a meeting, book an appointment, so you guys see how it works. And previously, before we do an actual call, let me show you the pipeline that is empty. As you can see, there's nothing here. The pipeline is empty. The AI follow-up sequence, the AI follow-up section, the interested not books, the warm not interested section, the not interested, the meeting booked, all of them are empty. We have no customers in here, right? So now let's trigger the first call, and obviously let's check that everything is working here. So here we are back to the form, and let's submit the form. We're obviously going to get a call now here. Okay, what happened is that we faced an error. Let's figure out what the error was, okay? I just paused a real quick second of the video. and I found out that we had faced a real little issue with our Twilio phone number, which would be the reason that we couldn't trigger a phone call. And as you can see, our customer went through the error branch, which let me tell you this, that this actually was a good thing to happen on the video, because this is one of the most important parts of the automations and one of the biggest reasons that not many people can correctly do these automations that actually work perfectly as they say. Because let's say that you're going to face errors a lot of times, right? So what would the error handling part be for? It's going to be for not losing any of your hot leads, not losing any of your potential customers. What if I was a potential customer that I was going to uh, increase the revenue of the company or something like that? So now that was a good thing, I mean, in my opinion, for this video to happen, so we can obviously show you the honest side of these automations. And as again, as I told you, this is the actual reason that not many people can create these complex automations on their systems and actually get real time or real world results, right? Okay, so let's assume that this error was not going to occur, and we submitted a form. And what happens was that this workflow is going to get triggered and we're going to get a call. But instead, I'm going to trigger a web call, which then would be, let me just quickly turn on the transcript scholar, which I'll explain to you later. So now in this case, as I told you, we're going to trigger a web call instead of a phone call. And let's just assume that nothing happened as an error there, because that part is going to be on the error handling side, and I'm going to also show you the error handlers inside of our workflows in Go High Level. So now let's assume that the call is going to get triggered, and this would be the trigger of the call, let's assume. So I'm going to talk with this assistant and just let's assume that this is a phone call, okay? I'm just going to book a meeting with this assistant. Let's see what happens.
Hey, can you hear me?
Hey, who am I talking with? This is Ashkan, you're talking.
I apologize for the confusion, Ashko, but let me tell you the reason for my call. This is Sarah from a UK based investment firm. We specialize in analyzing the Dubai real estate market. We recently compiled a detailed report on the top upcoming off plan projects in Dubai that promise exceptional ROI. Would you be interested in reviewing it?
Sure, but can you be really quick about it?
Of course, Ashko, I'll be brief. We'll share the report via WhatsApp. Would you also like to schedule a free 30-minute consultation with our
Yeah, I mean,
expert investment
I don't
advisors?
think I'm really interested, but what about it? Do you have anything to tell me?
Our ex- I understand. Our expert advisors are graduates of top UK economics and finance schools and have extensive experience in Dubai's real estate market. They can provide personalized insights and answer any questions you have about maximizing your ROI. Would you prefer a morning or afternoon appointment?
Okay, that sounds seductive. So, yeah, let's just book an appointment. What about it? How can I do that?
Great. Great. Let's get that booked for you. Would you prefer a morning or afternoon appointment?
Can we do a meeting for, let's say 11 p.m. or I mean, sorry, 11 a.m. on Dubai time on January 14th?
Let me check the availability for January 14th at 11 a.m. Dubai time. One moment, please. Give me a moment. The slot for January 14th at 11 a.m. Dubai time is available. Would you prefer Google Meet or Zoom for the
Let's do it on
consultation?
Google Meet.
May I confirm your WhatsApp number so we can send you the report and meeting link?
Yeah, let's say it's 1 2 3 4 6 4 5 7 8, whatever you call it.
Perfect. I'll send you the report and the Google Meet link via WhatsApp shortly. Looking forward to our discussion on January 14th at 11 a.m.
Thank you for calling me. Goodbye.
You're welcome, Ashko. Bye.
Okay, now you're going to see that this workflow is about to get triggered, and the transcript of the call, the outcome, the summary, that everything related to post call is going to be sent to this webhook. And you're going to see that my client, obviously me, is going to pass through this particular branch that I'm showing you. Boom, bam, pow. Now we actually have a booked meeting. So let me show you the calendar. So here you can see that there's obviously nothing there. Let me just quickly refresh it. And then boom, here it is. The actual time that we booked the meeting. You can see that it's 11 a.m. Dubai time, uh, which would be a 30-minute consultation, as the AI said. It's 11 a.m. until 11:30. And here I can also show you the opportunity sections in my personal pipeline, which is only for the video purpose. You can see that here I'm also in the opportunity section. Let me just refresh it. I think that will be the one because I did it twice, so it's not going to show me twice in the pipeline. That will be also my pipeline situation, like my opportunity or whatever you call it. So yeah, you can also have all of your clients here and see what is actually going on in there with the calls happening. So let's waste no more time. That was a quick demo for you, so you can understand how it's actually working on real world. Like the real world result would be something like that. We're obviously going to improve it. This was only for the purpose of a video. And then let's see how to actually create this step by step. I mean, let's how to actually see how to step by step create this AI real estate agent. Let's dive into the actual technical part. So for the first part of the video, I mean the first part of the actual workflows, this would be our first automation, which is going to assign each client or each customer to the related assistant. So let's say you have submitted the form, it's like your first time, it's going to be a cold call. So you're going to get triggering, you're actually going to trigger this workflow. You're going to go through this condition, you're going to meet this condition, and you're going to actually be assigned with assistant one, which would be our first calling assistant. Here we have the first calling assistant or the assistant one workflow. Let's say that you have obviously, according to the previous workflow, get tagged as the assistant one. Like you have been assigned to assistant one. Here you can see that the custom field has changed to assistant one, or obviously you have submitted a form. So you're going to go through this workflow. Then you're going to end up here. This webhook is going to send your customer information through the webhook through your first make.com scenario. And this is the first part that is actually going to trigger the phone call. All of the data related to your Go High Level account and the customer is going to land here to this webhook module. It's going to be going through this scenario and end up here if it's called, and end up here if like the first minutes of the video. It's going to end up here if it was an error call. So let me just quickly tell you what happens when a call faces an error. You're going to tag as an error customer. Then back to Go High Level, you see that we're going to wait for 10 seconds and also wait for the call to happen. If it was a timeout, or either it was a timeout or it was a error tag on the phone customer, we're going to have the exactly same workflow for the different two branches, which is going to first of all tell us, inform us or notify us with an internal notification that, let's say it's going to say, hey, there was an error, check this out, review it. It's going to give us 4 days for reviewing it, and then going back to the same process and be called again until it's actually not an error in here. So here, let's assume that this is going to actually work. This tools module is going to organize the data that have been sent through this webhook. This webhook is going to have a lot of data with it, like inside of the bundle that is going to be sent through the webhook. So in using this tools module, you're actually going to organize the only needed data that you want. So that's it. That's the only reason we're using this tool module. Here's when the actual call is getting triggered, the HTTP posting method. And you're going to post the call to your WAPI, obviously. And let's say that so as I said, this would be the posting method. And you're going to have your bearer token, the authorization key, whatever you call it, here in the headers of this HTTP posting method. The body would be a JSON requested content, which includes all the data that you want to get the call triggered, right? So here it's everything written down. You can create this specific requested content, like the JSON body, inside of WAPI's API documentation yourself. And in case it was hard for you, you can have it in the community that we have. It's all of them are copy and pasted there. You can just copy and paste it yourself. So let's get back to the rest of the workflow. Let's assume that the call is going to actually happen and the customer is going to get tagged as called. So here is when the magic happens. Let's say during the phone call, the customer wants to book an appointment. This scenario is going to uh, check the availability on our calendar according to the requested time of the customer or the client. Let's say I said 11 a.m. Dubai time. This is going to send the data from the VAPI's check availability tool. Let me show you. As you can see here, we have the checking availability tool for our VAPI's assistant. This is going to get triggered. This tool is going to get triggered as soon as the customer is going to talk about booking a meeting and it's actually qualified. So it's going to send the data to this webhook, which by no, which I mean obviously by no chance would be this specific scenario. It's going to. So yeah, as I was telling you, the data is going to be sent through this webhook to here, and it's going to actually this module is going to check the actual time that the customer, like the time zone of the customer, which the customer is based in. Let's say in this case, I was based in Dubai, so my time zone would be set as Dubai, Asia/Dubai, something like that. This next module is going to extract the requested time of the appointment from the customer. This is going to format the time in the readable format for this HTTP module, which the calendar could read it. And here we're going to send the actual request to our calendar so we can check if the time is available or not. And then we're going to come up with two different answers, which would be either if it was not available or it was available. So if it was available or vice versa, it wasn't, it's going to respond back to the webhook and send all the data back to the assistant. And the assistant is now going to know which the slot was available or not. So it's going to proceed the appointment booking process according to what happened, right? Now let's say that the call has ended. For example, I've booked a meeting or whatever kind of thing could happen. The end of call transcript or the outcome of the call would be sent here. Everything related to the post call, all of the data is going to be sent through this webhook here. As you can see, you can just paste it in here. When you go to the advanced section, you're going to see that there is a server URL. It's going to paste all of the data here. And then you're actually, let me again show you the prompt for this actually important part. In the analysis section, you can see that you have a summary, you have a success evaluation, and you also have the structured data, which is really, really important. So now let me tell you what this structured data or summary part is going to do. You're going to again prompt the AI so it knows what to do. For this summary, you're actually going to tell how you want the summary to be extracted from the transcript of the call. And then it's going to output the wanted summary, like the summary that you asked for according to what you said here. And then the structured data, the success evaluation is obviously self-explanatory because it's just going to rate how the call went. So let's say that we're going to make it in a scale of 1 to 10. So it's just basically going to rate the call, the quality of the call according to the intents of the customer from 1 to 10. The structured data is the most important part. You're actually going to make different variables as an output of the call. So here you can see that we have three different variables, which one would be named outcome, one is the callback time, and one is the AI improvement. I'm not going to explain this part to you. This is really complex stuff and not really needed inside of your automations. But these two would be considered adding. So let's say that the outcome of the call would be a variable. What would the value be? The value would be that, first of all, you're going to prompt the AI so it knows how to give this variable a value. We have prompted the AI to give 6 or 7 different values to this variable called outcome, which would be a voicemail pickup, I mean not picked up, a warm not interested, interested, not interested, and a meeting booked. And I think that was all 7 if I didn't miss any of them. Yeah, also a callback. I think I missed that one. So that would be the outcome of the call sent as a particular variable as a single data through the webhook here, along the other data that is going to be actually sent. So here we're actually again using a filter module. I mean, not a filter. I'm sorry, the tools module, which is going to uh, organize all of the data that we need instead of using the huge amount of data sent through this webhook. So now we're using it, yeah, we're actually more organized and we can use it easier. Here you're going to get the customer's information through your Go High Level account, and here is when everything is actually going to be like the real stuff is going to happen. So one of these two, I mean, these two branches only decide which the call was either an outbound call or an inbound call. Then it's going to tag the customer as an outbound call or an inbound call. That's as simple as it is. Here we have one branch, or actually two branches. These are just copy and pasted, no need to do it twice. Only one is needed, and I'm going to explain one of them, either this one or this one. So let's just say this one. If the customer or the outcome, as you can see, this was the outcome that we mapped out as the structured data in Vapi. If this outcome was voicemail not picked up, the customer or empty, or the ended reason of the phone call, which would be the extra data sent through the webhook, would be, oh shit, sorry for that, would be customer did not answer or customer was busy. We're going to put the customer in the AI follow-up sequences and tag it as AI follow-up, and the customer is going to end up in our follow-up sequences inside of our Go High Level account, as I told you previously in the mind map. And also at every single part, we're going to add the clients to our Google Sheet or any Excel sheet or any kind of data set or database, or we call it. And let's say the customer either wanted a callback, was interested or not interested, or a meeting booked in the call, or maybe a warm not interested. So it's again going to enter our data sheet. And again, it's going to be separated through 5 different branches according to what happened. If it was a callback requested in the phone call, this ChatGPT module is prompted so we can extract the callback time according to the call transcript and give us an output of the exact correctly formatted callback time. Here you can see the prompt. So then we're going to feed the callback time to our AI callback agent, which then is again going to repeat the whole process. It's just going to be a callback instead of a cold call. And that's it. Here we're just going to again update the contact as a callback tag, like we're going to tag it as a callback, and also adding a note at end of each section, which these notes would be the summary of the call, as I told you in the prompt section, the outcome of the call, and also the transcript of the call. Let's say it was interested. Again, same thing happens. I'm not going to explain it to you guys, so I'm not wasting any of time in this video. It's going to tag the customer as an interested customer. Let me just quickly show you this one, and that's it. Here you can see that we have the contact ID, so we know what contact we're dealing with, right? And let me tell you that this would be, let me just bring it up real quick. Okay, the opportunity sales was changed to interested. So then that is going to trigger other workflows in our Go High Level account, which is going to affect the customer's opportunity in our pipeline. And again, the same thing about the not interested, and same thing again about the warm not interested. But the actual thing is about the meeting booked section. Okay, so if they booked a meeting and the outcome was equal to a booked meeting or meeting booked, as we have mapped it out inside of our VAPI's structured data, you can see here, you can see that it's named meeting booked. This is the only actual way of writing the meeting booked that we have told the AI. I mean, I don't know if you understand what I said. I know I said it in a really bad way, but yeah, we just want it to be the exact same way written here. Meeting, all caps, with the underline or underscore between meeting and booked. So it's actually going to read the data here. So, if you're a little bit familiar with coding and programming, just a little bit, you're going to understand what I say. And yeah, if the outcome of the call was equal to a meeting booked, as written exactly in the same way, it's going to go, the customer is going to go through this branch. This chat GPT module is prompted to extract the time that was confirmed for the meeting or the appointment. It's going to result, it's going to be outputted. Let's just quickly just bring it up for you so you can see the prompt. Okay, here you can see that it's prompted so we can extract the actual confirmed appointment time in this format, in this exact format, which I think it's called ISO 8601, yeah, as said here. Then this is where the actual meeting is going to be booked. Oh, here's my bearer token. I gotta blur that for you guys. Yeah, this is going to actually post the meeting according to your according to the confirmed time during the phone call. Here you can see the exact same thing. The result of this chat GPT module, which would be the confirmed appointment time, would be booked on our meeting with this HTTP posting method again. And there are also going to be either an error while booking it or maybe successful booking. The successful booking, like if the meeting was actually booked, is going to again change the opportunity status custom field to meeting booked. Here, let me show you, as you can see. Or if the customer faced an error while booking a meeting, we're going to change or tag it as an error meeting booking, something like that. Which then, let me just show you, which would be here. You can see. Then this would trigger another workflow, which is going to send us internal notifications about the error happened during a meeting. So we're going to do that manually. And then at the end of all of the branches, you can see that we have also added notes. That's it. So that's for the make.com part. Now let's get back to workflows inside of our Go High Level account, which would be here. I told you about this, also this one. This is the opportunity status change custom field, which I just told you about in the last part of the branches in make.com. You see that it's going to actually change the customer's pipeline situation, like the opportunity situation, whatever you call it, according to the custom field of opportunity status change. So as I told you before, if it's changed to meeting booked, let's say that this is the workflow is triggered by this one, it's going to go through this condition. It's going to create an opportunity pipeline of meeting booked, and your customer is going to end up in something similar as this. As you can see, I'm in the meeting booked section. And the same, the rest of them is basically the same, just with different scenarios. Like let's say it was an interested call, it was a non-interested call, or whatever else. And now for the follow-up sequences, we have also another workflow that is really complex. Let's say that the first call was not picked up, was not an error, but wasn't also picked up. It's going to, according to this branches, as I told you here, the not picked up branches or the AI follow-up branches, it's going to get the customer to trigger these gigantic workflows. And let's say you're going to have the first call not happen. So the number called custom field is going to change to 1. Then as long as the customer is not picking up the phone, the number called custom field is going to add added by 1, if you know what I mean, until it reaches 7 and we actually know that this customer is actually not interested or maybe not available. Also, it's going to enter our database for later on data reactivation campaigns. So just in case, let me tell you guys about that. So you're not going to actually lose that client. You're going to save it in a bigger database that you can actually, as I said, use it in a data reactivation campaign later on. So yeah, according to the number called custom field, it's going to trigger 7 different follow-up sequences here. Yeah, let's say just it was the second time the customer did not answer the phone call. It's going to go through this branch. Also, they should be tagged as assistant 1. Here would be the second call happening here in this workflow. You can see that it's going to wait 1 day so you're not going to end up in their spam. Obviously, this is the one of the really most important parts. We're not going to want ourselves inside of their spam contacts. You can also add SMS, WhatsApp, or email sequences between these workflows over here. So yeah, in that case, we have a 1 day waiting and another drip mode, which would be a 1 minute wait. Then we have a go-to module, which is going to send the customer to this part of the workflow, and this part of the workflow is going to split the path. As you can see, split the path for what is going to happen to the customer, which there are 5 different paths. All of them are the same. It's just 5 different phone numbers for one assistant to follow up, and the reason is again for not going to end up in spam. All of them have 20% chance of getting triggered, so basically equal amount of chance for getting them to trigger a phone call. So let's say the customer was triggered through this path C. It's going to again get called with another number, but the same assistant. As you can see here, you see it's called third phone ID, but the assistant is the first assistant. And again, same thing exactly as the first call happened. That's it. Just that easy. If any part of it was really complex for you guys, as again I told you, you can consider joining our community on the school. But let me tell you something, just for your information, we only work with agency or business owners or people who work for these companies that want to implement these AI systems, and also they have a few clients that they can actually implement it on them. So if you don't fit into that category, please consider. I mean, you can also still watch our videos, but yeah, I don't think there would be any value for you to join our community. And yeah, that was it. That was how to create a fully functional AI real estate agent that also follows up, books appointments, and qualifies your leads without lifting any of your fingers at all. That's it for today. See you in the next one.